The amount of messages I got from you asking me to shoot this video was insane. So as requested, here's what's on my iPhone 15 Pro. And there's tons of new features that I love about the new phone, from the new look to the new customizable action button on the side. So I'll show you how I set mine up, what case I decided to use, and my favorite apps at the moment, including the dating apps that I've been using now that I'm single. I got the iPhone 15 Pro in natural titanium, 512 gigabytes, and I was set on getting the 1 terabyte, but then Apple announced a new larger iCloud storage. So I upgraded my iCloud to 6 terabytes, and I went with the 512 instead of the 1 terabyte. I also got the same phone, but in blue titanium and 256 gigabytes, which will be my work phone. Natural titanium for everyday use, and then the blue titanium to shoot the majority of the videos that you see on my Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube Short. And I thought I was gonna like the natural finish better, but honestly, when I got the blue phone delivered just yesterday, I think I might like it even better. To be honest, the natural finish looked better online. In person, I really like the edges of the phone. They have this metallic quality to them that look really great, but the back of the phone is almost like an off-white or like a really light tan, light gray, which isn't what I was expecting. With the blue phone, they were able to match the edges and the back a little closer together, so I think it's a better colorway overall. If I had to choose one, I'd go with the blue. The weight of the phone actually really surprised me. It is so much lighter than the previous version that I had, which was the 14 Pro. Now, one of the biggest changes to the phone itself is the new action button, which is customizable. And by default, is set to silence your phone. But if you go into your settings, you can change it, and you can turn it into a shortcut for focus mode, camera, flashlight, voice memo, or magnifier. You can also customize it to open any app you want, which is nice if you use one app more than others, like Gmail, Spotify, or Shazam. For my personal phone, I kept it as the silence button just because I tend to change that setting a ton throughout the day. For my work phone, I actually chose it to open the camera since it's the main purpose of this phone. And specifically, I actually chose it to go straight into video to streamline that process. I can just long press the button and it instantly goes into shooting my video. And if you have an iPhone 15, I'd love to know what your action button does. Let me know in the comments what you customize yours to do. The other big physical update to the phone itself is the change from Lightning to USB. I know Android users are rolling their eyes right now. I know, but this is big for the iPhone, right? The only issue is that I can't really get rid of all my Lightning cords because I still have to charge my AirPods Pro and Max. But looking ahead, it will be nice when I can to ditch all of those Lightning cords and carry only USB-C cables in the future. The case that I'm using on my natural titanium phone is from Rhino Shield, and it's cool because it protects the phone without covering the back. I also got a few options from the brand Spigen. Not sure which one I'm gonna end up using on the blue phone yet, but I do like this techie looking one. Since this is my work phone, I think it just makes sense. I also always like to add a screen protector to my phones to make sure the screen doesn't break or scratch. I highly recommend you do the same. Moving on to my lock screen, I have this sick photo of an Aston Martin Bulldog. I have quick access to the weather, Spotify, and Shazam. On my home screen, I have the apps that I use the most, and specifically, I actually try to put my apps that I use the most down here so it's easier to reach with my thumb. That's been my strategy for years. I don't know if anybody else does that, but I just feel like it's super helpful. And it makes it easier for me to reach those apps that I use a lot. So down here with easy reach, we have apps like Instagram, we have TikTok, we have X, we have Snapchat, and of course the newest one, Threads, which I've been enjoying. I think Meta had one of the most successful app launches ever with Threads. We also have the Zero Bond app. Zero Bond is a membership club here in New York City. It's a really cool place that I like to go to for dinner, for drinks. If someone comes to New York and wants to meet up, this is usually where I'll take them because it's an upscale exclusive place. It's perfect to network or to go on dates. One of the apps that I use daily is Whoop. I'm obsessed with being healthy and staying in shape, so I use it to keep track of my workouts. If I click on today's workout, for example, you can see what I did. I did leg day. It was a tough day. 164 total reps. These are the exercises that I did at the gym. It also tells me how long I worked out for, how many calories I burned, what my heart rate was during the workout, and a bunch of other very detailed information that's super helpful if you're trying to be in great shape. Whoop is the video sponsor, and if you start looking around, even on TV, you're gonna see so many people wearing a Whoop. Top athletes like Cristiano Ronaldo, Patrick Mahomes, and so many others trust this fitness tracker because it truly is the best. You can see that my sleep wasn't so great last night. I actually went to bed late because it was a Friday night, so I went out for drinks, but it shows me that I got 6 hours and 46 minutes of sleep, shows me what kind of sleep I got, and it even tells me that I woke up 1.8 times per hour, which is within my 1.2 to 1.9 range. I do wake up a lot at night, but it's always good to know what your sleep data looks like. If you want a free Whoop fitness tracker, and trust me, you do, then check out the first link in the description below and get the device and the first month free of charge because you're a part of the YouTube family. And when you get yours, join my team so that we can compare stats. We have about 1,000 people in the community, and I'd love to see you there. I post on Instagram and TikTok almost every day. Lately, I've been having a lot of fun with these fashion tips, teaching men, teaching you how to look your absolute best. That's my purpose on social media. And we're close to 2 million followers on Instagram, which is absolutely insane. Thank you so much for the support and for the love. It means everything to me. I like to create these folders here in the bottom with similar apps. For example, media has YouTube Studio so that I can manage my channel, Spotify, Audible, F1, Netflix. And when I go into photos, I have all of my editing apps like Lightroom, Facetune, so I can easily edit my photos and post them on the go. In finance, I keep all of my credit card, bank, and crypto apps. Keeping track of my finances is extremely important to me. If you know my story, then you know that I don't come from money. And having the means to invest itself is a blessing. But it also means that I have to be very detail-oriented and keep track of my finances to make sure that I'm good. I do also travel a lot, and I keep those apps all in here for easy access when I'm traveling. On the second page, I have apps that I still use, but not as often, maybe a few times a week, like Uber Eats, Amazon, Yelp, Zillow. And I love this Google widget right here. It's so easy to quickly search for anything that you want, and I also love how it looks. All right, like I said, I'm single now. So that means I downloaded some dating apps, okay? I have Hinge, Teleport, Raya, and Tinder. I don't use Tinder, to be honest. I downloaded it, but it's not as good in New York City. The quality, let's say, of the matches are just not great. These other three, that's where it's at. Hinge is by far the most popular one. That's where you're gonna find the most people. Teleport is the most exclusive one, and it's available only in New York City at the moment. It's a matchmaking app, and it's pretty cool actually. They set up dates for you according to your specific interests. They find other members who they think would be a good match. Then they actually book you a date, which is really cool. Raya is also somewhat exclusive. You have to apply, and then their team decides manually whether or not you should be accepted into their app. In general, I'm not a huge fan of dating apps, all right? Just because they're time consuming, and I prefer to meet people in real life, out in events, at parties, through friends, or when I go out in the city. But I have met some pretty cool girls through these apps. So if you're single and looking to date, these are the ones that I recommend. But let me know in the comments. I'd love to know which dating apps you use and which ones have been successful for you. Something else that I wanted to show you, because it did make a huge difference for me on the way that I use my iPhone, is this quick access dashboard when you swipe to the left. I put a random carousel here, so you click on it and you kind of see some random photos of back in the day. I mean, these are super, super random. But I like seeing those memories. It's always fun to see. I also added my content calendar right here, so I know which videos I'm posting that day, which videos I'm working on, the battery life for all the devices that I use, and then the top stories from Apple News, so I can quickly glance at this and then just know what's going on in the world. And if you haven't yet, don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel. We're so close to hitting a huge milestone, 4 million subscribers. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you again in the next one.